Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome from, we're in San Crisanto, Mexico, Norma, Jean, and I, and just wanted to thank you for joining us. And our Wi-Fi seems to be really good. We wanted to sit outside, but it's very windy, and it's just after 6 p.m. here. So the sun did set, and it's beautiful. It's warm. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Good to see you. Beautiful and warm, and we just had a very decompressing day. Yeah, we had a very big travel day yesterday, a little more travel than one likes to do in one day. Like I think up at 3:30 and out the door by 4:35, and then to the airport, and then always get to wait at the airport, and then you get on your flight, and there was a delay with the flight, and then we were watching them de-ice the wings with some lime green crap. And I'm watching this and going, I don't know if I'm buying all this. Anyway, so we finally get off. We arrive an hour late, and of course we have a rental car to get. It must have been 45 minutes before the shuttle showed up. Yeah, and then we had to sit at the rental car. Anyways, it was a really fun saga yesterday, and then we had to drive to get groceries, and then an hour drive in the dark to get here. And so we were pretty darn happy when we landed. But it was a full day. So we're very grateful to be here. We've had a very beautiful rest day today. And hi, Teresa. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Arlene, Roberta, and Lou. Yes, looking very tropical and relaxed. Look what I got. I've been out there singing under the palm trees to drop one for me. And then I kept walking and I'm like, there's one. Because I really want some coconut water at some point. So now we just have to figure out how to open it. So yeah. So we're in San Crisanto, Mexico. Please like and share the video if you choose. Need those thumbs up. And we are here specifically, one, to get out of, it's snowing again in Vancouver tomorrow, to get out of the weather so we can create more. And my being really has been here many, many times. And this is a comfortable space for me. I feel at home here, and it's sunny, it's warm, and we've got a whole bunch of inner work for the collective that we want to do while we're here. And so that's what this house particularly is about. And then we're going to set off and go visit sacred sites. We may visit a few, so expect lots of reports in on that and videos about that. We're very excited about that. We were speaking about it with David, and the reason I'm speaking with David is he's got some contacts here. But first, we're just going to see what flows for us, and then I'll let him know the pattern we're doing, and he may hook us up with some of the Indigenous here to connect with, because I really want to do some purification baths while I'm here. Absolutely, and get recommendations on where to stay. Thank you, Trish. Thank you for correcting me. It's the spelling of your full name. Yeah. Hello, Enlightened Mailed. Hello, Golden Girl. Yeah, you get to, we're welcome to jump on a plane and come join us. Just saying. Anybody that wants to jump on a plane, we're here. Yeah. And we will be on live for Thursday for those in the class with us. And we're creating some more classes for you guys. We've had all this information and inner knowing and downloads coming through for that. Absolutely. Hello, Jack from Melbourne. Nice to meet you. Yeah, we're very grateful to have you all here today. Norma Jean, you want to chat a little bit?
Oh, it never ceases to amaze me the places that she gets here. I'm just saying. This is a wonderful spot. As soon as we was in the air and we flew over Texas, about the time we was hitting the part where you're over the ocean before you reach Cancun to land at the airport, I felt a huge shift. The temperature changed. The energy hugely shifted. The clouds here showed me so much of the reflectiveness of what was here, what is still here, just not as much in, manifest as far as where, a lot of the sacred sites that have not been discovered yet, or they just have not gotten to yet to uncover. So there's much here, so much here. And it's amazing when I'm able to see that as above, so below, and it ultimately reflects a lot of an area or a place where it, when you think about it, I was explaining to T on the plane that the when they call it a third world country, it's in all actuality, these places that remain on their own, they have their own unique purpose or reason for not joining with other countries, so to speak. And it's getting to where I'm able to understand this a little more in more depth, to understand how they're able to still keep a lot of the traditions intact in a lot of these areas, like Mexico and like Greece. So it's still a lot of information coming in, and I'm very excited to see what new downloads I get while being here. I'm very excited when we get ready to go check out these sites, see what they have to gift us while we're there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun coming up. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole point. Yeah. It is beautiful. And this is a really small town. Like, there is nothing but a tiny corner store, and there might be a couple restaurants we're eating in right now. We're just huddling down and just recalibrating and resetting our energy. Lots of time in the sand today with bare feet. We caught a little young fellow dancing on the street with his little bike, and in the back he had this wood box and he had pastries in there. So that was really cool because we couldn't, have a full conversation, but we had a great little conversation, and, we paid him. We're like, "Oh, are you out every day?" He had no idea what I was saying. So. And I'm like, I got to work on Spanish. But what's fascinating, when you just read the signs and you kind of let go of trying to figure it out and you just be, it's quite beautiful. And yeah, there's nothing here. So Merida is about an hour away, like straight shot down highways. And in there's Costco, Walmart, you've got everything there, paint stores, whatever you need there. And so we've got to do a run back in regarding the rental car, because I made him give me the nicer car with no plate on it. He's like, well, it's got to go in on the 24th. I'm like, I'll take it in a Merida. So, and we've decided the seats aren't that comfortable anyway. I'm really spoiled by my vehicle at home. Even though it's older, it's very comfortable. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Hello, Doug Webb. How are you? Yeah. Hey, Molson. Yes, absolutely. A town of 900. There's something about it. And we've run into a couple tourists today, but there's nobody here. We were chatting about that, how quiet it is. And there's even Mexicans renting places here. And I was like, that's a really good sign. A very good sign. And a lot of places are empty. And so we were thinking about it, and you figured there was storms here at some point that really ravaged a bit of the properties. And so they're in a bit of a rebuild phase here. So how nice. And I managed to pick, I did in Egypt. I found us a house with like 20 minutes from the pyramids, but we were like walled in on this half an acre probably of property with a pool, and it was comfortable. Same thing at the Red Sea. We had nobody around us. Everybody was on the other side of the peninsula, all staying at the hotel. And I'm like, yeah, no, we don't do that. Ellen, I see you guys are being all sneaky now. You're going on to other people's names when you're coming on. It's Ellen. You women are catfishing. I see you.
Can't get nothing past the phone.
Thank you for clarifying. Sorry, I couldn't help but make that joke. So yeah, so we're here for you guys tonight. We came to chat a little bit, share some love. Yeah, it was -14. Oh, at least you had sunshine, right? Absolutely. Stay focused on the positive. Thanks, Mel. What questions do you have today? You're using his tablet, I see. What questions might you have for us? What struggles are you going through right now that maybe we could speak to for a moment and give you some relief, reprieve, insight? I already know Trisha would love some help with her anxiety. Yeah, Trish. On for you guys so that we can really tap in a little further with that and support you in this moment. In the meantime, You know, and no matter what's going on for you in this time and space now, it would be really important to remember those deep breaths. We're going to get some reminders today. That's what I'm being told. Some really deep breaths, some space for yourself, just so you can sit and go sun gaze in a window. I was upstairs a little earlier and the sun was coming in on this one chair and I'm like a cat. I'm just like right in the sun. I'm like, oh yeah. So taking a few minutes for myself and just stopping and pausing. There's nothing urgent as far as I'm concerned anymore. Nothing needs to be urgent. If somebody's trying to squeeze you for urgency, meh, it's not worth it. And so, you know, and taking a long bath. I was a little disappointed we got here. I'm like, there's no bath. Oh, well, we've got the ocean and a pool. I better not complain. And we all have showers in our room. So that's beautiful too. And, you know, it's what am I grateful for today? Today, I'm super grateful that this kind of fell in our lap to come down here this way. If I didn't decide many years ago that I was just going to rent and not buy a house, there's no way I could play like this. This is how I do it. I made a decision to go, I'm just going to rent. I pay 1,500 Canadian for a 3-bedroom, bath and a half townhouse. And I've been there for a very long time. And I chose that because I knew how important travel was for me. My soul always knew I was meant to travel full time. Now, when you have a child, it makes you go, you kind of you feel like you need to land. You could just travel with it. And when she decided, no, I'm done with this system. I'm done with this school. I don't want to do this anymore. And I went, oh, good, we can travel now. And so that took a couple of years to set up. And as we step more and more into this, and there's a great opportunity for many more to start defining how you want to live. You want to speak to that?
You know, it's a beautiful thing when you come into understanding more and more about who you are, understanding that, you know, for me throughout this life up to this point, it was, you know, having to play a role and a part in, you know, this construct the way that it was. And during that whole time and during that whole process, I always would allow myself to be able to go and say to myself, you know, this is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm striving to experience at some point in my life. And although, you know, I've had great experiences, I can tell you, I've never propelled as much as I have this year alone. Just within this year, I've had more experiences of self. I've had more experiences of understanding what is out there to be seen, to be experienced, to be created from, to be propelled more in wanting to go more inside to see what else lies within me that wants to express itself outwardly by, you know, where I want to go next. What am I bringing to the forefront of my mind as to how I want to create through this process of, you know, traveling, or if I want to create maybe even a community, or, you know, those types of creative ideas. So always note that as long as you have at least a general idea or clue as to where you want to go, you will get there. I'm a prime example of that. I'm such a prime example of that. And I'm just so grateful and appreciative with where I'm sitting right here, right now, and being able to make the connections that I've made, and knowing that from here, I'm just only going to make many, many more. And knowing that I'm sitting here and I'm speaking with, you know, to y'all and with y'all about, come on out, come join us. You can do this. If you didn't feel you couldn't be, you wouldn't be here right now. So come on, come join us.
Yeah, come play. All right, Cindy's got a question. I'm building my group page and business page, doing collective readings to work for myself. Any suggestions would help. Absolutely. And so maybe let's step it back too and bring everyone into the conversation with the fact that I always look back and what was I passionate about when I was younger? I was definitely passionate about play and love being outside. And even when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, a very good friend of mine in Salmon Arms, stories coming through, had a setup with these like figurine size horses, bloody expensive stuff at the time, but she had everything. And so I would go and play with her. But I would set it all up and then I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to act out anything. I just want to set it up. So that is actually who I am. I like to set things up. My brother would ask me to play cars with him, build the roads, do all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Same thing with Barbie, right? When I was younger, I just wanted to set everything up and organize it. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do the rest of this shit. That's really boring. So when you tap back into what did you really love to do as a child, or what strengths can you pull from that you really enjoy doing, and you will find your purpose and your passion even there. And often some of our greatest challenges in life become the greatest gifts, because then we can turn around and help others when we overcome something. So when people keep bringing up things that need to be worked on and cleared, it gets easier as you go. Molson was just mentioning that she had an issue with her vehicle. Minus 45 wind chills last night. My car wouldn't start and I may have a cracked radiator. I was very proud of myself though, because of my spiritual work of myself. I did not freak out and kept my vibe high. Beautiful. So this is the goal, right? Because the more when these things that used to trigger you no longer trigger you and you can respond to them, and you're not exhausted by it. You're not feeling drained by it. You've maintained your energy. So keeping your vibe high, but also managing your own energy, which is really important right now. Absolutely. And Cindy, we'll talk more about this as well, because I just want to bring everyone into the circle around it, because I have set up a few businesses. The other thing, and I've talked to many people about how to set up a business. And so that's probably one of the things we'll do is bring you in and give you the confidence, because the biggest thing is I'm not good enough, right? When it comes to starting your own business, there's that fear factor to come over. And every time you take a step in that direction, the fear will dissipate and more and more. And so I do believe a little words of encouragement, some insight and advice. I've been running businesses my entire life. It's my jam. Again, it's that setup thing, organized thing. The day-to-day just killed me in retail though, right? That was really depleting for me. And now I realize why, because I just want to set things up. I don't need to do everything, right? But at some point in your life, I had this really masculine role of like, I can do it all myself. Just let me do it all. I'll just do it all. I'll just do it all. And eventually it's like, I can't do anything anymore, let alone all. So one gets really depleted. And take Norma Jean for an example. Speak to your experience about first meeting me and now speaking to it and hosting the few events we've hosted now, and you coming more into your own through that process.
Of course. Yeah. And it's, it's this one right here. I'm so grateful and appreciative of the being that she is, first and foremost. She always gave me the chance and opportunity just to be who I am. Always allow me just to speak to what it was that I was feeling, what I was getting, and never once questioning, never once giving me, any, why or anything like that. So she allowed me to be who I am, where for a long time, I wasn't able to be that. And in that, I've been propelled so quickly and so just clearly in the path that I feel that if I'd had this support, even 10 years ago, I may be further along than I am. However, I am where I need to be in this moment. And in that, her, pushing me to, well, not pushing me, but, encouraging me to come on and, to speak to who I am, to speak to what I receive, what I get in the gifts that I see and just really enjoy having myself. And, probably the first 2 or 3 times I came on live with her, I was like nervous. I was so nervous because I'm like, a lot of it was,
you were nervous-sighted.
I was. Well, it was the first time I was more nervous. Then after that, I was more nervous-sighted. I'll just be honest with you. But it was so empowering. And in that empowerment, as you can tell, even as I come on still, even to this moment, I know that a lot of you that has been with us since the beginning has even, spoken to that I'm a lot more clear in my message, in the way that I'm conveying, and I've seen to be more confident. And I am. I'm becoming so much comfortable with who I am and the being, because I know how large I am. And so as this continues on, we've done a couple of group sessions, and that is so profoundly beautiful within itself. Having recollections of knowing that we've done this together multiple times, and in other lifetimes, and just seeing that clarity of more and more of the being that Tanya is, the more and more of the being that I am, which provides me that ability to see more and more of the beings that I come into contact with, that's living or that's having a human experience as well. So with me, it was, I just needed a support system, and that's all I needed. I needed that one person or that one group just to see me and say, we accept you for everything that you are, everything that you're being, everything that you're sharing. And knowing that in that support, have propelled significantly. And it's not even been a year.
Nothing been a year.
6 months maybe since I first came on. About that. About that long.
Yep.
So it's having that support. It's having the ones that come in and can say, you're okay. You're doing what you need to do. We accept everything that you are. We allow you to be everything that you are, because we will. Because we know, well, I know what it's like not to have that. And in having that, I know that I can definitely be a great support system for anyone that, so chooses to reach out. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's why that we'll be creating a group for those that want to start their own business. And so I like to always beta test things. And we've got one person in there right now that we're meeting with. And Cindy, if you're interested, we can add you to that. There's no charge at this time. Not while we do, but we would request things like some reviews, obviously feedback, but it's what I do. I take things and I build them, whether it's a person, and you're just making me realize this now. I'm like, oh yeah, I do that, because I accept everyone where they are. And so even for my daughter, the words never come out of my mouth. You're not good enough to do that. You can't do that. Never. I just let her be her, even if I think there's more she could do. Not for me to force her to do it. It's up to her to realize, oh, I feel good. So we had a really good conversation about the next few years for her today and what she wants. Yeah. And so as much as she's enjoying hanging out with Norma and I, she wants more people her own age. I'm like, we'll work on that. Let's figure something out for that. Yeah. Beautiful. Freedom Liberty Lover says, Norma Jean has blossomed in front of our eyes. Absolutely. And yeah, Ellen says that positive reinforcement is crucial. It is. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't know what you don't know until you know. And then once you know and you have that experience, think about it. Anything new you try, once you do it once, twice, 3 times, oh, now it's old hat. That's why I don't like to go to the same place unless I'm hosting a retreat, because now it's different with the people. But if I am just strictly me on a vacay, like we have 3 weeks here, no plans. All we know is we've got a rental car. We've not booked anywhere to stay. We're going to see where we're called to go. And I love creating my life that way. That for me is a huge vibrational, because I had no fear coming in here, driving at night by myself, getting the car, going through. I have no fear about doing that, even though I don't speak fluent Spanish. I just had absolutely no fear. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I have 0 fear, which is good. Or concerns. Yeah, it is part of vibrating higher. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter whether or not you have all the answers. No, never. Hello, Ada. How are you? All right, Cindy. So what I want you to do is DM me, message me on Facebook there, okay? So I can message with you and chat you in. Hello, Angela. Yeah. See, look at all these good, kind words for you. Oh,
Sorry, y'all, I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah,
so you have
you
to
can't
tell
really
me.
beautiful Norma. Yeah. Everyone sees your soul love. Yeah. Yeah. Like-minded people around you to support and lift you up will make a huge difference in your life. Yes, Lou, that's absolutely right. All right. Yes, Molson, absolutely. Whoever else wants to come in, private message me in any way that you do. And then we can get a few of you together on that. Yeah, I love flying by the seat of my pants. Absolutely. Well, in this case, it's mostly a dress. See? Yeah. Norma's vibrating, so she broke out of her shell. Right? When the snail needs a bigger shell, it cruises around to find one.
Oh no, these days she's like, well, there she goes again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm flying high all the time. It's it's a beautiful place to be for myself, and thank you for your kind words and for your support and for being here to witness.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to add in, hold on, you guys, you're so sneaky with your names. All right. Dun, 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 Michelle. Michelle, also Healing Hands, if you want to add, if you've fallen asleep, maybe because you're on the other side of the planet. But if you want to be added to that group as well, because I know you're working on the tarot magnets, which is super cool. Yeah, absolutely. And so as we go through this life, and I just want to keep talking to this a little bit more because I think it's really important, because as we move forward, less people are going to want to be living in the same town, doing the same job, going into work every day. I already know that. I can feel the future. I see the future. Many more people are going to travel. In fact, I was on with my phone today having a conversation with one of the managers from the phone company and saying, I've been with you guys for 15 years. Let's have a conversation about creating opportunities for the customer when the customer is asking for them. One, they took away the Canada, US, Mexican plan. I'm like, why? Why would you take that away? And now you have to get a new phone to get it. And I'm like, I don't accept that. So, and I said, look what I paid for Europe, right? And so I said, where's the international plan for those that travel, for those entrepreneurs, for those nomadic people that travel all the time? This must be one of the biggest issues for them, is how to communicate clearly. And that's why everyone's using apps. So who knows about those hot spots or something? Fill me in on what you know about that, because it's definitely a challenge. In the end, I got my trip to include my data here at no charge. I'm like, good, thank you. Because they were wanting to charge another, $1,000 more, probably 12 or 1,400 if I use my phone. So now I was just going to use Wi-Fi. But that's really hard when you're in the middle of nowhere and you need directions for somewhere. So that can be really challenging. So who knows about that? And so as people move around and as people travel, yeah, Angela wants to go back to the mountains. Absolutely. Whatever makes you happy. And you're going to find people are going to become more nomadic. They're going to have their own business, whether it be online or something they sell, and you can travel with it and sell it. Think bigger. I'm going to push you all to think bigger than what you're thinking. Here's an example. I went so big, I'm like, I want a spaceship to travel around in. I don't want to set foot on a plane again. So that's what I've been asking for. And our ship, allegedly my ship was over us for most of our trip, probably keeping us safe, right? And Norma Jean, what about you? What are your thoughts on that? The traveling and the getting out of your comfort zone. Where do you see people being in 3 to 4 years, even 5 years max?
A lot of it that I see is that so many people are so tired of the day-to-day, just mundane things of life. It's about understanding that the more and more of us that go within, the more and more we're going to want connection. The more and more we're going to want to form those communities, those gatherings, those celebrations, to just celebrate who we are, to live in moments of just enormous amount of admiration for each and every individual that comes into these experiences. And so as we go along, we have to stop thinking that we are limited, because we are not. We've never been limited. We are so vastly large and so limitless it is profound. And the more and more I keep going along in this journey, the more I am recognizing how limitless I am. I mean, I know how limitless I am due to a lot of the fact that I do traverse two worlds. I can be here and then I can be somewhere else, and I don't have to take this body with me. But I am so grateful that I'm able to still have a human experience and yet still propel also in my spiritual, knowledge that I am able to bring from other places. That to be able to know that I have the ability to, what's it called, remote view, so to speak. I can look at something and go there and see it. I don't have to physically be there. However, what's great about it is that once I see that what's there, then I can say, that's where I want to go. I want to go see this in the manifest. I want to be able to take this form and take it there. So whenever I speak to that, then I'm looking at this is my spaceship.
That too. Yeah. I need a spaceship to carry other people. That's my wish. To bring you all on board, just come over and bing, 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 bing. So
yeah.
then we can just go and we don't have to deal with any airports. We don't
Nope.
have to deal with any of that. That's my wish. That is my biggest wish. Yeah. And, as you come on, boom, things get cleared. You get, upgraded. Yeah, it'll be really beautiful. So there goes Jen. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, that is my wish. Trade spaceship with the transporter. Yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and it is. You have a Merkaba. You have, once everything is activated and aligned, we do have our own personal Merkaba for this traveling,
Yes.
which I believe Norma Jean is using all the time. She's not able to take me with her yet.
Not that I haven't taken. Come on, let's go.
Right? Yeah. And Angela says, being near the mountains. I live in Colorado, but about 45 minutes from the mountains. Cruel torture. Knowing it's going to happen through manifesting, but the wait is horrendous. So what can you do? Yeah. What can you do now to bring the mountain to you? What kind of pictures can you put up? What kind of gratitude can you have for what the mountains give you? Because the mountains are ancestors.
They are. They're actually, when so much that to speak to on that is that, the mountains are our ancestors. It literally is. And a lot of it is understanding that metaphorically, in the time that our ancestors roamed this place, their way of being able to leave that knowledge behind for the ones after them was to be trees. And in that, as time went on, and we're talking huge trees, massive trees.
You've seen the photos.
Yeah.
Know. They're not flat top mountains.
No. And so it's like, and as far as like, you speak to weight. So let me give you something on a geometry kind of perspective here. For everything that we as human beings seek to be, do, or experience, we have a starting point. Okay. And this is where the compass comes in, as well as our weights. Okay. Everything's about measurements and weights. And in that, when you come to understand where your starting point is from, then you begin to understand with the compass how far out you're willing to take that pencil point and make your circumference. And here's the thing. You don't do it just once. You'll do this multiple times over a course of or a period of time. And as you do that, as you continue to get to know more about who you are by going within, seeing those strengths, seeing the gifts, and knowing that in those gifts you're understanding more how to be greater at manifesting what it is you say you want or to want to experience or create. And as you do that, guess what? Those scales, instead of doing this all the time, are going to start doing this. Because, excuse me. So as you're doing that, what you're doing is you're taking your measurements and you're taking your weights. And what I mean by that is as you're finding that balance, then what you're doing is you take the imbalance of things that you see and say that you don't want, and you're replacing with the things you say you do want. And this is not if this is good or bad. That's not what this is about. It's not about good or bad. It's about seeing where you are, noticing what it is you say that, okay, I know this experience, this is not what I want. I want to be experienced this way. So when you recognize this for what it is and you speak to it and then you let it go, then you have that room because you've let that weight go to replace it with a lighter weight, but more expansive by saying, this is what I do want. So it's, as you continue to speak each day, remember, every day is the dawn of a new day. Every day is the day that you're able to set that point, take that circumference, know where your measurement takes you, and then sitting down and understanding what you need to do in order to find the balance in your weights.
Does everyone get that? Did that make sense? I just want to make sure everyone understood that one. Yeah, we are master manifestors. Hi, Sassy Cindy. We are master manifestors. Absolutely. This is what we came to do. But, and that was beautifully put. Thank you. So if anybody has any specific questions about the weights, let us know. You're getting it. Okay, great. Yay. Good. I always like to make sure. So remember, if you don't understand something, ask so that we can clarify it for you. And so with this balancing and with these weights, we go out into our day and we are manifesting all the time what we're getting. We come into a limited, smaller body, even though we know we're much bigger beings, so that we can have the mirrors put up to show us, right, what we like, what we don't like. And so depending on your vibration and your energy and how you're emitting your energy, what you're getting back or relating to you will show you what's going on. And so those boundaries become more important. Those people that are draining you constantly become more important to delineate and put them to a specific spot so that you can see them when you choose to see them, or in a space that you choose to see them in, or in a time. And I would actually look at what are my best times of the day that I'm able to manage my energy the best. And then I would slot somebody in there. For me now, it just doesn't matter. So I'm telling you, it gets easier with time. Yeah. Yes. So it has to do with not saying what we don't want to take place, but it's that absolutely. The universe doesn't know the difference between I don't want that and I want that. So when you say, I don't want this, I don't want that, you need to, this is what I do want, and may this or something even greater happen. Because sometimes the universe is conspiring to do something completely different. I have no idea where that's coming from. We have to laugh about these. It's some StreamYard thing, and I can't even make it happen. So. Yeah, negating the negative. Yeah, just get rid of it. It just doesn't matter.
Let go.
Yeah, let go of it. And as you shift those beliefs and you change your perspectives and you become more open and compassionate about no matter what is going on in the world, no matter what somebody has done as a person or a soul, they did the best they could with the circumstances they had. And maybe they were programmed. We just don't know the full story. So who are we to judge them? We don't know. We don't want to be judged. So then therefore it goes to that adage of treat others how you'd like to be treated. Now, I'm not saying it's easy for some people, but I can say that no matter what, we're all connected. And when we're, the souls that have gone too far and are past the point of no return will be taken back to source and transmuted, so to speak, which is something I don't think happens very often from what I'm getting, but it can happen. And so then it's not our job to judge somebody and worry about it. What we're here to do is be a reflection for source, the creator of all, God, whatever you choose to call, as a reflection, because it's like this big, I don't know, it's like a whole, this is where they got the TV from, this, because it is like he's up there watching this big television screen and can see everything, right? And so we each have our very own unique frequency and perspective. Is it raining? I keep
No,
thinking it's raining. It's
Yeah,
really.
and I know the windows are down, so. that's why-
Okay.
That's the reason why I was checking to make sure. Sorry.
Okay. Apparently it does rain sometimes and it can feel like a really good massage. So I'm like, I need a massage. Go in the rain. So as we, as the source is watching all of this, we just have to remember if we don't like what's going on in front of us, we can choose to change it. Now, source, this is just a recording of everything. Everything's being recorded to help create new universes and new, right? He's an architect, a freaking master architect with all this information. Metatron is an architect, right? And so there you have these people that are the builders, you have these people that are the seers and the travelers, and you have these people that are the guides, right? That are going to take people and guide them in a new direction, whether they're a soul that's had this much experience or this much experience. And you always have someone to guide you if you know how to tap into it. Yeah, absolutely. Lost you. Okay. All right. So we lost you on the weights. Can you let's rehash that one more time in another way. I would say definitely focus on what you do want. But I want you to explain it. So when we're talking about like the Libra scales, any scales, the scales of justice, whatever you want to call them, scales when you're cooking, the scales that well, that's not the best example, two-weighted scales. And so when Norman, let me see if I can reiterate it. When we change a belief, something that made us feel really dense and heavy, and we change our belief about it and we lighten it, we're balancing our masculine and feminine. We're balancing our as above, so below. And so we have this capacity to choose, do we want to operate from this weighted down position or do we want to lighten up? And how do we lighten up? We lighten up by changing our beliefs and our perspective on things. Because if you're so judgmental about one specific thing that happened in your life and that is your belief, we need to pull that out, look at it with a new perspective as an observer, not reliving the situation, just observing it and going, oh. And then you can observe it and go, oh, there was a situation with my dad at one point when I was quite young and I went, I'm not safe. And I can look at that situation now and go, he never felt safe his entire life. He went through fighting, right? And until the day he died. And he's on the other side now, poking and prodding me all the time. So we have this ability to, because now he knows the truth, right? He knows that it was just a freaking show. But I came into this lineage to break, to be a circuit breaker, to change a bunch of things about it. And so by me being able to do that and then look at my younger self and go, you know what? It's okay. We had a lot of tough experiences, but we made it. Look how far we've gone. Look how good we're doing now, because this present moment is the most important. I love you lots. We made it this far. It's okay. We can let this go now. We no longer have to energetically hang on to this within the body. So I hope that helps enlighten Male.
Well, another thing that I also want to mention
Yeah.
is you got to understand something too. Even though, like we've said before, you don't know what you don't know until you do. So when we came out here and we did have a judgment about something, whether it was a person, place, or thing, okay? When we had those judgments, the one thing that we as a human race didn't know we were doing was we were judging self. Because we are not separate from what's taking place, whether it's a person, place, or thing. We're not separate from it. Everything that we are around, everything that is taking place, everything that is going on in this very moment, like I've spoke to before, this table has motion. These chairs in which we sit upon has energy. I am not separate from this, although it seems as though I am. I'm not, because it is in motion just as I am, you are, the ocean is, the aether is, the wind is, the sun. Everything is about those elements. So when we understand that everything is working in cohesiveness with one another, especially when we look at the elements, then what we do is we lighten up on our judgments of these things, because we begin to understand that this is the process. And when we stop having those judgments and we begin to observe, like T is saying, when you observe yourself, man, let me tell you, it is an eye opener, because you're like, oh, now I get it. I didn't have to be that hard on myself because I didn't know any better then. I didn't have the tools and the guidance that I have now. So when you're able to do that and you look at yourself, you're going to laugh, or you're going to have those epiphany moments. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, that makes me feel so much better. And you'd be amazed at how much just a release of that weight comes off of your chest, literally, because you can feel it leave, especially when you have those epiphany moments, especially when you come to a recognition of self that you are like, wow, I didn't have to hold on to that. I didn't have to treat myself that way. I didn't have to have that judgment of self. But if I had not, I would not know what this feels like.
Right? Having compassion for yourself and, so when you have those thoughts, I just flick them away. Yeah. And it's true. So when you observe yourself, you're like, oh, that was me. I created that. I see what I did there. And so then you can almost laugh at yourself and go, ha, you did it again. Right? Like even before the trip, it had something to do with the current energies where I went into a masculine role of like, I just do it all myself and I can do. And I somehow had my schedule a little over the top. And I went, oh, you did that to yourself again. I see that pattern. But recognizing the pattern and being able to then pull back. And I stayed in bed for hours today because I was like, I'm not getting up yet. So being able to go, okay, now I get to rest. Now I get to rest and reset because it was quite a week for me. I just want to catch up on a few chats. There we go. I want a travel trailer to get quiet, beautiful destinations away from the neighbors. And then Cindy says again, lower, how do I deal with the downstairs neighbor that bangs on the floor whenever my daughter dances? I've been ignoring it because I feel her energy is irritated, but it feels abusive and controlling. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know how you all live in apartments because I live in a townhouse.
Never lived in one.
And I've only got one neighbor on one side and it's an elderly couple. So it's like super easy. When you are sandwiched and you're floating up in the air, one, it's really good to have a grounding wire. Really good because you're floating in space, you're not grounded. So that can be a really challenging in itself. And so if she's below you, I don't know if she's on the main floor, but I would have some compassion for her. Maybe she's had a long day and this is loud for her coming in. And is there a way to do some ho'oponopono on it, the meditation prayer, and see if you can find a solution that will be amicable for everyone? I don't know how old your daughter is, but maybe there's a specific time that she could dance that your neighbor's not home and it won't matter. So it is, you are living cohesively with someone. So to be able to see their perspective as well as yours. So I totally understand what you're saying, but I can see both sides of it, right? And so from a neutral perspective, I would recommend meditating on it first, doing the ho'oponopono around the situation, and see if you can come up with some solutions. And I actually probably would write her a note versus speaking to her because she might be quite reactive at first if she's in the place I think she's in. And writing a note and say, hey, I just wanted to see if we could find a solution to this. I know it's frustrating for you. And is there a time when you're not home that this wouldn't be an issue? And then talk to your daughter. We live in a space where we need to share space. We need to be able to live cohesively with our neighbors as well. Because think about it like you're a unit, right? And you're all in a building. It's probably the most challenging thing to put yourself through is to live in an apartment. But I know it's, the only way a lot of people can afford to live at this point. So I do highly recommend that. I hope that helps. And Angela, yeah. So Angela had this name screaming in her ear of Serafina, not the Serafina we know, because I asked if that was for her, if that's who she should connect with. And it was, no, that's her guide. And so she's got a guide named Serafina and to call out to her. So she's giving the name, use me, use me, use me. And Angela, you can, a couple things when we're dealing with situations. So I had a situation at work that I could have used your support with. Absolutely. And so I would set that up in the morning and make sure you're giving yourself a little time in the morning and get some of the aspen tree smell. If that smell is what you love, get some of that. See if you can find an essential oil from aspens. I'm telling you, it will help you greatly in your life now. This is what I'm getting for you. And then to be able to go and when you feel triggered or frustrated at work, to go and find a quiet space and ask, why is this frustrating me? Serafina, I need some help. I surrender stuff all the time. I have no idea what I should do about this. So can I have some help, please? Can we just make it the best outcome for everyone involved? Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're welcome, Lou. Thank you very much. Yeah, your daughter's 11. The other woman works from home. There must be a time she goes out. Yeah. Yeah. So there must be a time, and she will probably, with your saying, I understand we have this challenge. And I would like to try and find a solution. Yeah, because she's working from home full time. She's got to realize that part of being an 11-year-old girl is movement of the body. Absolutely. Yeah. So is there a time that she might be stepping out so that your daughter could dance? Yeah. And you're such an amazing mom, Cindy. I know you are. Absolutely. Just checking the other chat, guys. Do you want to add anything to that?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, I've never lived in an apartment either. A lot of it is that there are more and more people that's working from home. But here's the thing.
Oh.
Even with that, a lot of it is they have a tendency to stop at, okay, I'm working from home. I want to have less stress. I want to have this. I want to have that. But so many of these work from home places are, your CSRs and individuals that's always on the phone talking with the customers or whatever it may be. So, at some point, as Tia said, you got to find somewhere where there's a compromise or a place where y'all can come together where, does she work all day? Does she not have a stopping time where you can say, I'd like to be able to just let you know, we understand that you have, or that you work from home, and we definitely want to make sure there's not any interruptions. However, I know that, if this is like a 3 to 11 or a 2 to 10, that may be a little different. So they may be having to work something over on the weekends. But at some point, no matter who the neighbor is that's living below you, at some point, there has to be some type of compromise, because you do have a daughter. She is very active. She needs to remain active because she needs to express. And if dancing is her expression, that should not be taken away from her. Of course not. However, being able to give her that chance and opportunity to.
We have a message from Jade.
Oh,
regarding this.
Yeah. There's got to be a compromise. So
absolutely. Yes. And Jade is suggesting, and she's right, is there somewhere you can take your daughter so that she can dance and play as well and get the energy out? So I know there's are you in Kits? There's parkour just there's a parkour gym, which is super fun. Does it have a trampoline? No, right? Or dance classes. Does she have dance classes and she's practicing? Trampoline. Yeah, that was my daughter when she was young. Yeah, absolutely. And so try and get her into some local spaces, rec centers, if there's some sort of dance class that she can go to, somewhere else too, where she's actually being rewarded for behaving that way as well, instead of reprimanded. Yeah. Thank you, Jade.
Supported.
Yeah. I used to take Jade to the trampoline park with the foam pits. I would take Jade. Where else did we go? We would go anywhere to let the kids like play out, especially in the winter months, because they were so active. Yeah. Or we'd go skiing or snowboarding or tobogganing in the winter. Yeah, absolutely. So whatever activities you can find that she'll resonate with. And I used to let Jade pick, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? This is your afternoon. What do you want to do? And it gave her that power of choice as well. Yeah, absolutely. I love that you guys are all getting songs as messages. Yeah, always. That's right. Tons. Hello, I'm Bob. Hope you're doing well. Of course you're busy. Yeah, just make sure you're taking some time for you. Absolutely. Yeah, and Berkeley works with 15 men. She's the only female. I have a vision of you dressing up like a guy, like all in the just as a bit of a joke to show them, like, look, if I'm more like you. So yeah, no, you've got a good challenge there. Hold your own, bubble yourself up, do the whole Ho'oponopono. Just be you. Just be you. The dressing
yeah.
up was a bit of a joke.
It'd still be funny.
It'd still be funny, right? Yeah, absolutely. It is. Yeah. Oh, Cindy says, thank you, Jade. Yeah, skateboard and roller skate. Yeah. And I know the rec centers have really reasonable dance classes. So if she's really into that, if you can, and you might be able to find some with some sort of grant as well. What do you call that? When the tuition's paid for? It's not a grant. It's a, what is it? I'm having a brain fart. What happens when you go to school and you tuition? No, it's a bursary. What's that called? Work with me here, guys. I'm struggling.
Sorry.
No, you got no help with me.
Nope.
When you don't have to pay for tuition, what's it called?
Oh, scholarship.
Thank you. It's like I got two of you here and there's no help. Thanks,
It's about
Mel.
school.
Too funny. Uh, right? Sometimes as soon as you need the word, it's just gone. Yeah. Bye, Tango. Good to see you. Enjoy. We're sending you some, we'll send you a picture of sunshine so you can sit there and warm up to it. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, guys. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to check out. We got to figure out how we're cooking dinner tonight here. So wish us luck. No luck needed. Yeah, you homeschool. Yeah, see if there's some scholarships for her. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you are an amazing mom. So yeah, see if you can figure out another way somewhere local, and then also go to the neighbor and say, look, we're trying to find somewhere to resolve this, but can we ask if you're going out, if you got times that you go out, do you have a class you go to? She must go exercise. Otherwise she'd be going mental at home. Arlene, good idea. Beautiful, Arlene. Thank you. How about putting those interlocking mats or carpets on her room floor? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone is frustrated. Maybe this is the universe way of forcing us to learn once again to find compromise and work together. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're so forgetful lately. You know what? I find, Mel, that when you start being really present, it's really easy to forget stuff because you're being too present. Like I have memories, I can't even drop on them, or there's things like I have to make sure stuff goes in my calendar or I will forget because I'm just being present. So don't beat yourself up about that. I think it's part of a process of clearing your mind so that you're not having to retain that information, right? So it's part of this clearing.
It's okay. Within 5 minutes, I had to come back and ask her for something that I.
She's going to,
Mine is just going through like it's like crazy because don't beat yourself up over it because it happens to me all the time. I mean, it's funny. It can be very funny because you're like, what was I thinking about? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to get? So no, I get it. Trust me, because because I just sometimes it just happens. I go
15. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
and it happens. And so don't beat yourself over. It's nothing to worry about. It happens, and that's where, like Tia's saying, it's from where you're just being so free and you're just being, and instead of being overwhelmed, you're just so relaxed that. For me, I'm so relaxed these days. It's like, whoop.
Oh, so Chris, I'm sorry I had that backwards. So Chris works with 15 women.
Oh,
Don't dress up as a woman and go to work. Although it'd be really freaking funny, right? So yeah, I can imagine those emotions. You need to energetically bubble yourself up. There's a protection meditation that I've got over on YouTube. I would try that. Dance on a rebounder. Yes, that's an ascension thing too. In my opinion, one is losing all your emotions. Another is I don't remember. And so, when you say your brain's not working, I'm like, I forget all the time too. We do too. Like it just is. The important things will stick, but if it's not that important, yeah, forgetting glasses. I used to sit on my sunglasses all the time and lose them all the time. Lots of people are having, Lane, lots of people are having dizzy spells or lightheadedness.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Make sure you stay grounded, drink lots of water and get some nuts in you, and salt. Something else she needs. Magnesium will also help. Yeah. Angela, good. I started a routine of verbally Releasing memories I no longer need. I recite 3 times, I no longer need this memory. Please release it from my energy. Beautiful. Yeah, no, Arlene, it's not just you. Yeah. Thank you, Arlene. Yeah, you guys don't beat yourselves up about what you can't go back to the person you were. You can only go forward. So keep having the gratitude for what you do have, what you do remember, and don't beat yourself up. Yeah. You know, and there's all you can almost name every symptom as an ascension symptom because every single person is very different in their genetic makeup and in their energetic makeup, that we're all going to react differently to things depending on where we are and what we're around. So that's why I'm always saying it's very important for you to find a space to have some quiet time to yourself to reset. And I can do it in the car, I can do it at the airport, and just close my eyes and reset. Yeah. So don't beat yourself up at all about any of it. It just is. Now what can I focus on that's positive? Yeah. Electrolytes. Yeah. The salt, the mineral salt, Shilajit will have electrolytes, anything like that. Just don't drink Gatorade. Try and do natural ones. Coconut water. Coconut water has electrolytes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is when my daughter was in ballet class over restraint. We had to learn not to be elephant fairies. That's a funny one, Luna. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Cindy, also because your daughter, Jade, wanted to mention your daughter's being homeschooled, it'd be really good for her to have some social activities to go to. So I'm sure you can find some homeschooling groups. I'm sure you can find some special classes that they're coming up with for these students. I know you can. So put some intention and thought into that. You're welcome, Arlene. We love you. And we'll see you on Thursday. Jade, you're getting a fist bump behind me here. Pretty soon there's going to be 3 of us on the screen. Get ready. Somebody else is coming out of their shell right now. Yeah, we just do the best we can with what we have to work with. Absolutely, Luna. Okay, you guys, we're going to wrap up here. Awesome. We love you very much. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We see some of you Thursday. And for those of you that I mentioned, the private message. And do you remember what the January challenge was? And it actually should be a lifetime challenge. No negativity, no judgment of others, right? And being kind, especially to yourself. Love yourself. YMCA. Thanks, Arlene. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, we're here for you to help you out. So we're back Sunday live, but you may see a pop-up live come in as we settle into this here and want to play some more. So we love you very much. Have a beautiful night and go do something for you. Do a little jig, sing a little song. Let's go out tonight.